tonight. After the controversy last September with the goalkeeping position for the All-Ireland Football Final replay, there is no doubt who is the #1 keeper in Mayo 2017. It's David Clark. Returning from injury is 29-year-old fullback Ger Cafferty. Chris Barrett is at 2, while 32-year-old Keith Higgins starts at left corner back. It's a very strong half-back line, with Colin Boyle and Paddy Durkin on the wings, supporting Footballer of the Year 2016 Lee Keegan at number 6. Seamus O'Shea on his day is as good a hard-working midfielder as you could get in the country. Adding a touch of class to that crucial area is Charlestown's Tom Parsons. 21-year-old Fergal Boland is Mayo's only championship debutant today, and he joins Diarmuid O'Connor and Conor O'Shea in the half-forward line. Take a close look at the Mayo full-forward line. Huge experience here, with various strategic options available as Kevin McLaughlin, Cillian O'Connor and Andy Moran start in that inner line of attack. Sligo manager Niall Carew starts the team that performed so well in the Bronx against New York. Between the posts is Aidan Devaney. Charlie Harrison was very impressive at fullback, and you could see why he won an All-Star in 2010. Ross Donovan and Owen McHugh are in the corners. Brendan Egan, who plays his club football with St Vincent's in Dublin, is a powerful and authoritative centre-back. Keelan Cawley and Johnny Kelly are 2 excellent wingmen. UCD student Paddy O'Connor is a really good footballer, while Adrian McIntyre brings experience to an area of the field that Sligo really must win today. He is the longest-serving inter-county player nationwide. 17 years Mark Breheny has been doing it for his county. Neil Ewing is the captain, while Kyle Cawley scored the only goal against New York. Full forward Pat Hughes is a huge threat at the edge of the square, while Stephen Cohen and Adrian Marin are both potential match winners. Well, this is Niall Carew, the Sligo manager's second championship match of the season, which is a positive, having had that game against New York 2 weeks ago. But from Mayo manager Stephen Rochford, the championship journey begins today.
I think as you go from game to game, you're looking to be able to be adaptable to what the opposition brings. So each and every day that brings its own challenges. But look, I mean, if it's as simple as saying we want to concede less and score more, I think that'd be the way you'd be putting it.
Was Aidan O'Shea fit enough to start today?
Yeah, he picked up a little bit of a groin injury about 3 weeks ago. It's hampered his training. Obviously, didn't get as much of the league under his belt as we would all have liked. But he'd be good enough to make an impact off the bench if needed.
So he's fit and ready to go then, but not just for a full 70?
Correct.
Look, I suppose from 2015, that game certainly went wrong from us from start to finish. But look, we're 2 years on. It's our 3rd year as a management team and as a group. So we'll be hoping we've made bigger strides than we had then. So we won't know till 4 o'clock this evening.
Do you change the way that you approach the game than what you did a couple of years ago?
Look, I suppose the intensity has to be completely different than it was 2 years ago. Obviously, we had to get a little bit more physical and stronger as well, and to tackle a bit more pace. So we added a few, like Adrian McIntyre is a big help. He wasn't there 2 years ago. So look, you still have to play and you have to perform, and you still have to believe you're going to win, even though it is a massive task for us today.
Yeah, it was 6 goals that Mayo put past Sligo back in 2015. It tended to be a big...
A 3rd division team in the league can stick with them normally for 35, 40, 50 minutes, and it's the last 20 minutes that the gaps start to appear and the gulf in class then becomes more apparent. I would suspect that something similar will happen today.
But at the same time, and it was mentioned there in that little piece, Sligo had this advantage of having played a championship match. Now, it might have been against New York, but nonetheless, does that help?
Of course it does. A competitive game under their belt is a great help. And, you have to admire the way they played in New York. Yeah. Remember last year, Roscommon fell over the finish line. Now, it looked like there was an ambush on the cards in Gaelic Park. Ross Huerty scored a point to put New York ahead with 18 minutes to go. Yeah. And Sligo showed great character, showed great spirit. They reeled off 1-6 without reply and won comfortably in. After that match, they stayed on in New York for 3 or 4 days. They trained in Rockland County. So that extra training and that competitive match will obviously be of benefit to them. There's no doubt about it. At the same time, I'll have to agree with Colm. It's Division 1 playing against a team who finished 4th in Division 3. And if you were at the league final this year, the 2 league finals, Division 1 and Division 2, and Galway and Kildare are the best of the chasing bunch outside it. But yet when you looked at Kerry and Dublin after, in terms of skill, but in terms of physicality and fitness, the gulf between the Division 1 teams and the Division 2 team on the day was massive. The gulf between Division 1 and Division 3, as we saw last night. Once Monaghan raised the tempo and got into it in the second half, there was only going to be one winner. And I think there's only going to be one winner today as well.
What Pat was saying there, Colin, you know, about the work that Sligo have put in, they've put in the effort, there's no question about that. But another thing that goes against them here in all of this is their championship record against... Well, the lads here in studio are going to give us some further views on that. Colin, can I just talk first of all about the Aidan O'Shea situation? He's not picked in the starting 15 today. You had Stephen say that he had an injury in the last couple of weeks, but of course on social media and other comments, they're suggesting that there were other issues involved in all that. What do you make of all that?
Well, he's a player that divides opinion a lot, and people see him as a sort of an individual, an addition to the Mayo team, but somewhat different. And that's fine if you have won All-Irelands and you've performed great things, but he has never done it on the big day for Mayo. In fact, I wrote a few years ago that he was a big man on the small occasion, but he hasn't been the big man on the big occasion. And we'd all love to see that from him. Maybe we're asking too much from him. Maybe he's not up to it. Maybe he's given his best and that's the way he is. But his brother Seamus has probably added more to Mayo than anybody else on the Mayo team over the last couple of years. And like ultimately, by your deeds you are judged. And I'd have a lot of admiration for a lot of the Mayo players like Colin Boyle and Keith Higgins and Lee Keegan and fellas like that. And as well as that, maybe even more admiration for Mark Breheny on the Sligo team, who's toiled for 17 years, and he's probably only played in Croke Park 3 or 4 times.
That's right.
So a man like that probably deserves even more recognition.
They do. Another man who deserves mention as well, Patty, in that context would have to be Andy Moran. A great warrior for years for Mayo.
Well, it's interesting that Colin talked about the amount of old fellas they're playing today, and we're led to believe that modern day football is about athleticism and pace and youth. But Andy Moran is playing here today. It's his 14th year playing championship football. 33 years of age. You've Adrian Marin, 32, playing his 13th season. Mark Breheny, the longest serving inter-county player. But I wanted to highlight Andy Moran because I think over the last 12 months he's been the most consistent Mayo forward from play. A great leader. What I like about him, first of all, he's a great man to show for the ball. He's the focal point of a lot of attacks. His distribution is impeccable. Left and right, always composed on the ball. But I wanted to highlight his performance. This was setting up the goal for Aidan O'Shea in the 2015 final. But I wanted to highlight his role last year against Tyrone's blanket defence. And what marks Andy Moran out as a great forward is his intelligence, his movement on and on.
Mayo, they've been knocking on heaven's door for quite a number of years. Is this going to be their year? Their journey starts now. Sligo go into the attack immediately, down towards Stephen Cohen. Played well in the Bronx, New York, 2 weeks ago. Turns, wind assisted, it's a thing of beauty. It's the start that Sligo needed. They're up and running.
Yeah, great score there by Stephen Cohen, and the long ball in will work today. This is Ger Cafferty is back in the team after 14 months with a hamstring injury, and is a good opportunity to test him.
He scored 2 points against New York, and he's been in flying form at club level recently, scoring 2-7 and 2-9. The name is Stephen Cohen. Championship debutant 7 years ago from the St Mary's Club in Sligo. Against the breeze, just to the left of the post, as you can see. Hits it smartly, assertively, and accurately. Good start to the match here in McGill Park. Nice ball inside into a full forward line that is certainly marked out here as with huge potential. Oh, that is a thing of beauty. Andy Moore, what a slice of a ball. The way he kicked it with the outside of the foot, he judges it perfectly. 33-year-old since November 8th last, he still has the magic.
Yeah, nice to start your day off like that. That was a super score. But just interesting to see Kevin McLaughlin winning the ball in the full forward line there. We're used to seeing him last year drop.
Henning laying it back for his Paddy O'Connor. Brendan Egan in his 11th championship season, 35 years of age. To Breheny, to Johnny Kelly, to Lestrade. Doing his masters in law in DCU. The kick from way out the field. The umpires are absolutely adamant that that's over the bar, and it is that man again, Stephen Cohen, with his second point of the game. and they're from opposite ends of the field. The kick-off is quickly taken. Comes for us Adrian Marin, and there's another point for Sligo. What a start, wow. Very impressive, Sligo.
Yeah, I watched the minor game here before, the under-17 game, and the minors got started very well, kicked great points early, so there is a very strong win, and it's a very good win for kicking scores from.
This is a short kick out which went skidding off the surface. We've had rain, but look at this for a kick by Adrian Marin. Superb. Breaking ball picked up by Colin Boyle. Paddy Durkin playing on his home pitch here in Castlebar. Kevin McLaughlin, Knockmoorman. Sticking to his task is Charlie Harrison, who's taken up the responsibility of chasing after McLaughlin. Good.
Has to be free.
Free is taken quickly. It's over first, Kevin McLaughlin. He's going to make up for the point he missed a moment ago from the free. It's over the bar, the sides level for the third time. Good score by McLaughlin.
Yeah, he's that type of player. He's excellent this year for Mayo, and he's one of the most reliable players they have, and good shot on his right foot. Aaron and Pat Hughes.
Mark Breheny here from the St Mary's Club. Kicks it powerfully and straight between the posts for his first score of the match here in McHale Park. He scored 5 times against the Americans 2 weeks ago in the Bronx. 3 of them were from frees.
And in fairness, there's a place for a free taker on any team incorrectly.
Adrian McIntyre to Mark Breheny to Paddy O'Connor. Floating it up towards Pat Hughes. Giving it back for Keelan Cawley. Good understanding. And Cawley just a little bit unlucky. Pat Hughes is in to retrieve the loose ball, and this one is also to the left. Opportunity here, and that is floating over the bar. Good score. Sides level for the 4th time here in McHale Park.
Yeah, and that's what you see with this Mayo team. You see on one side Lee Keegan driving up the pitch, then you see the other side, you see Paddy Durkin taking the ball in space and kicking a great score.
Well worked score, Paddy Durkin on the Castlebar team that lost to Ballybowden St Enda's, the All-Ireland Cup final in 2017 he's back as your traditional wing forward or corner forward.
Yeah, that's the thing with Mayo. I think they're trying to evolve the game, to get a system that's going to work up in Croke Park. And I too agree. I think early on in the season against Galway that didn't really work, but as the season went on, it certainly improved. And
Niall Murphy, who's a substitute today, who also has hamstring problems, who scored 3 goals and 17 points for his county in the Alliance League. But Adrian Marin is a man on form. Superb point from out the field. Good free. And once again, the sides are level. Mayo captain, primary school teacher in his home county, and he kicks that over the bar for his 3rd point of the match.
Yeah, and that's what they need to avoid. These frees are bread and butter for the likes of Cillian O'Connor. He'll kick these all day. And Sligo have done so much good work, so much in position to give these frees away. It's not acceptable for Niall Carew.
Dermot O'Connor, Seamus O'Shea to his right. This is O'Shea. O'Connor has gone inside. Heading towards the 20. Make that the 13. Shoots! Oh, what a goal! Dermot O'Connor breaks down the Sligo defence eventually. A cracker of a goal. The build-up was superb. The finish simply brilliant.
Yeah, great play by Dermot O'Connor, getting the ball in there. From this distance, you wouldn't think he's going to get a score, but what a finish, and showing a bit of form that lacked in the latter part of last season. That's a brilliant finish.
A cracking shot that beat Aidan Devaney. And O'Connor, Young Footballer of the Year, 2015, 26.
Well, I'd like to be able to tell you that, we could have a shock in store on this game as in the balance, and it's a 50-50, and, if Sligo come out in the second half with a better performance, they could win. They haven't a hope in hell. I mean, this was damn it. In a way, you feel sorry for them. Okay, they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. 2 years ago, they played Mayo in the Connacht final. After 15 minutes, game over. They were hammered by 26 points. They were innocent. They were naive. So obviously today, Niall Carew has decided we're not going to be innocent. We're not going to be naive. We're going to be hard to beat. We'll get our defence right. And we'll gain some sort of model victory. And that's all they're setting out to achieve. So look, the bottom line is, when you enter a competition, You enter a competition to try to win it. When you play a game, you try to win. They have a game plan there that is a game plan of containment, that is not a game plan designed to win the game. I mean, they're playing with a gale force wind, with a really, really strong wind, into the scoring goal. And after 11 minutes, they'll score 4 points. And for the next 27 minutes, they got 1 score from a free. So look, it's not that Mayo are world beaters.
Sure.
Their physicality and their experience is standing in a good stead. But look, it's men against boys, Michael.
The bottom line is, as Pat was saying there, Colm, that if for Sligo to have a real chance in this match, they probably needed to be 5 or 6 points up at half-time, having played with the wind, and they're not that clearly.
Absolutely. I could understand how the Sligo backroom team would decide, like, it rained goals the last time on them in the first half. Why don't we get to half-time, be still in the game? But when you got the wind, then plans had to change and they had to become more offensive. They've left Pat Hughes up almost totally on his own. And like Stephen Cohn started off very well, you would think they'd have played.
Tom Parsons knocks it down for Conor O'Shea, gives it to Diarmuid O'Connor. At his shoulder was Paddy Durkin. It opens up for Mayo. Here comes the shot! And the ball is wide. Paddy Durkin had options left and right. But to his credit, we dwell on a positive, he had a goal.
Well, I think it was a great counter-attack play there, and Patrick Durkin really can drive at teams, but I think he got caught in 2 minds whether to give it across to Cillian O'Connor, and what happened is slice off his foot out wide.
Cillian O'Connor to Fergal Boland. In the centre, Seamus O'Shea. 2 options available to his left. Lee Keegan is one of them, survives the first challenge and possibly the second. Gives it to Fergal Boland, and this is sailing between the posts. Good score, Fergal Boland from Ahamore in the county of Mayo. Kick-out comes to Tom Parsons, who was being fouled, takes the free quickly. Down towards Cillian O'Connor, lays it off for Andy Moore in the old double act. Batman and Robin of the County Mayo football side a number of years. Andy Moore puts it over the bar for his 2nd point of the game. Over fires Mark Branning. Pat Hughes is the target. Gets there ahead of Ger Cafferty. 2 big, strong players. Cafferty sticks to his task. Not much support for Pat Hughes. Eventually, Charlie Harrison is there, so too is David Kelly. Nice ball inside. There's a chance of a point here, and it raises the white flag, thanks to the football skills of Paddy O'Connor. Into the centre where Tom Parsons is there. Again over for Fergal Boland. Going deep for his Cillian O'Connor. Nice little jink by Keith Higgins. Higgins trying to create the space. Fergal Boland. Higgins has gone for the return. And Fergal Boland wisely takes his point. 2nd point of the game for the Ahamore man. There's only 1 man up for Sligo. The crowd players in the middle of the field, in between the 2 45-metre lines. Here's Keelan Cawley. Back fires Adrian Marin. Floating this one in. David Clark comes off his goal line, punches it clear. Comes out for Paddy O'Connor. They need men running in the middle. They don't have them. And Sligo retain possession with Niall Murphy. And Murphy turns and sends this over the bar. Good score.
Yeah, and Sligo have had opportunities. There's certainly a great opportunity for a goal. That's a good score as well, and it's keeping them in this game. Great score by Niall Murphy on his left foot.
Aidan O'Shea spreading it wide out for his Cillian O'Connor. Nice ball. And the finish isn't half bad either. It's one of the moves of the match so far.
He's the go-to guy, isn't he?
Kick out from Aidan Devaney. Paddy Durkin. Toe pokes it. Over for his Conor Loftus. Loftus about to pull the trigger. Passes it in, a goal for Mayo. Cherry on the cake as Mayo undoubtedly qualify for the Connacht Championship semi-final. Cillian O'Connor 1-7 in the Connacht final against Sligo 2 years ago. This afternoon it is now a personal tally of 1-6. Loftus created it, O'Connor finished it.
Yeah, and he could have picked that ball off the ground. I'm not so sure. Straight across to Cillian O'Connor, and obviously he's not going to miss from there.
Aidan Devaney going to take the kick out. And the referee, Sean Hurston, blows the full-time whistle. Mayo win the first match of the championship season for them. The journey is up and running. 2 goals, one by Diarmuid O'Connor, another one by Cillian O'Connor. It was O'Connor specials, and they go through to play Galway on June 11th in the semi-final. Full-time score in McHale Park, Mayo 214, Sligo 11 points.
Look, we conceded the 2 goals at a very wrong time in each half, and I suppose, look, other than that, I'd be happy with the performance, but look, we don't do moral victories, but at the same time it gives us something to work on for the qualifiers.
We're certainly creating the chances. We got whatever 14, 15 scores today. I think we're moving in the right way. But look, you know, once you come out on the right side of the result, you get the opportunity to continue to improve on that. But no, yeah, it's an area that we continue to look to improve on.
Next up for Mayo, a semi-final clash with Galway on the 11th of June. Well, Colin Cooper, Mayo didn't have it all their own way in that game.
No, they didn't, and I think Sligo started so well. They had points from Stephen Cohen and Adrian Marron, and things were looking very nice for them. Playing with a strong wind, but they didn't capitalise on it. They missed a number of frees. They left the ball short, and you just can't do that when you're playing in McHale Park against Mayo. Yeah. And the second half, kind of, I think we all had the feeling it was going to go one way, and Mayo just overran them at times, and it could have been more. But how
good were Mayo?
I think they'd be reasonably happy. I think if you offered Stephen Rochford a 9-point win today before the game, he would have taken it. You're not going to be top shape in the first round of the championship. I think they're going the right direction. I still feel they need to find the right balance in their team. That may take some time. Look, they're going to be thereabouts come August to September. They have a lot to work on. And it's going to be very interesting to see what balance and chemistry they get in their team over the next few months.
Kieran, some of the Sligo fans quibbled about the 2 Mayo goals. What do you think?
Yeah, you could argue there's question marks over both of them, but like looking at them a bit more closely, I suppose the first thing people will ask is Diarmuid O'Connor overcarry the ball. I think the simple answer to that is he did. He probably took about 8 or 9 steps. He was fouled in the process though. And that probably knocked him forward a bit of momentum. You can see the referee gives advantage. Okay, so he gives the advantage. 2 guys come in, he's fouled, he takes it 8 or 9 steps, puts the ball to the back of the net. So it's a technical free followed by an advantage. So you could argue that he should have blown the whistle and given a free in. But Diarmuid O'Connor does well, nice drop kick into the goal, and it was a key changing point. The second goal then, did Conor Loftus pick the ball up was the first question mark. Again, the referee we see indicates that he did. The ball was off the ground. Where is Cillian O'Connor when he plays the ball? You can see he's right as he strikes the ball. He's right on the line. So I think, you know, when we looked at this the first time, we felt he was probably in the square, but I think he's borderline. So you'd probably give Mayo the benefit of the doubt there. But you know, for me, it was a job done by Mayo. You can still see the power, the physicality they have, the strong running. Has anything changed? Not a whole lot. Case of job done, and move on and try and improve.
You thought you were impressed with Mayo at midfield and their half-back line, how they set up so much from there?
Yeah, I think it's a huge strength for Mayo. You know, Tom Parsons and Seamie O'Shea in the middle of the field, very athletic. Their half-back line are probably, along with Dublin, probably their strongest line. They can take off from anywhere. Here's the Parsons onto Paddy Durkin, and it's a very simple but a very effective score. That's why Mayo are very effective doing this. You can see here Lee Keegan coming through the middle, takes a good hit, can release the ball again to Fergal Boland, and he kicks a great point. He had a very, very good game today. For a young player to come into that sort of environment, he did very, very well. Again, Keith Higgins coming up the sideline here, takes a pass back from Cillian O'Connor, and he just injects great pace into it. We can see here coming in along the end line again. Slip a hand pass. If he kept going here, there's possible goal chance, and I think this is where Mayo have to get a little bit more ruthless against the Dublins, the Kerrys. They need to be sticking goals here. I think Jason Doherty was free at the back post there as well, and that's going to be the big challenge for Mayo. Can they find that extra 10%?
2 of the biggest cheers in the match today, apart from the goals, were when Aidan O'Shea came on twice, first as a blood sub, and then he came on as a substitute. Now, he wasn't chosen, obviously, a big talking point. He was criticised during the week by Bernard Flynn for posing for photographs after a challenge game. Can I ask you all, what did you make of that, Turlock, the criticism of Aidan O'Shea?
I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a challenge game, and if the player didn't stop to sign the autographs or be in the photographs, he'd be criticised for that. And it was a challenge game. I thought it was over the top.
Colm?
Yeah, look, I've been in that situation numerous times, and kids are coming for selfies and autographs, and I think it was a complete overreaction. To be fair, he did it. He probably should have done the warm down with the team, but that's up to the management or someone to coordinate and work that. I think it's blown out of all proportion.
I'd have empty for him, Des, being honest with you, because it's a tough station. Mayo come under a lot of scrutiny. He's one of their big players, so he's expected to deliver. And I think he should be judged on the field of play. I think it's dangerous to have perceptions about people based on innuendo and rumours and stuff that we don't know. We're not inside the Mayo camp. You know, we don't know what goes on behind the four walls. So Judge Aidan O'Shea on the pitch and cut out, there was a hell of a lot of crap written this week about it. It turned into a circus.
All right. Time to choose our man of the match. Who are the nominees, King?
Nominations, the first one was Patrick Durcan. As Colm alluded to, he's becoming a mainstay now in the team in the half-back line. Very effective going forward all day. He was one of the leaders in that mid-sector. The second nomination was Brendan Egan, centre-back from Sligo. Worked hard all day, put a lot of tackles in across that line and brought that intensity levels that Sligo needed in their defence. And the third nomination was Tom Parsons. For me, developing into a top-class midfielder, moves from 50 to 50 very, very effectively and links the play very well.
Right. Who did you give it to, Colin?
Well, we selected Patrick Durcan. Like we said, he had a fantastic game. He could have got a goal midway through or at the start of the second half as well.
Maybe he should have got a goal.
Yeah, he had a great chance. He wasn't sure. I think he was looking to pass the ball, to be honest. But he's been a fantastic player for Mayo. And I think giving him a licence out in the half-back line this year is really going to benefit Mayo down the line.
OK, well done, Patrick. Then let's hear from him.
Paddy, congratulations. It looked like that was quite a tough opening outing for you.
Yeah, it was. Look, we knew first game, it's always tough in the championship just to get up and running. So Sligo were no different this year, and we're just happy to get over the line and hopefully improve now for 3 weeks ahead.
Did you expect to build more?